technical and junior college presidents and chancellors according to a survey sponsored by the Community Technical and Junior College Journal. He was noted as one of 50 transformational leaders in the community college field. The role of transformational leaders involves expanding services and increasing academic excellence. Locally, he has been involved in a long list of civic activities. He is former United Way campaign chairman, former chairman of Goals for Dallas, founding member of the board of directors of the Dallas World Salute Board, vice chairman of the board of directors of the American Red Cross, member of the executive board of the Circle 10 Boy Scouts of America, former president of the Downtown Dallas Rotary Club, member of the board of directors of the Dallas Concilio of Hispanic Organizations, member of the board of TACA Incorporated, and member of the Dallas Together Committee. Presently, he is the president of the Dallas Citizens Committee. And having given you all this, I sort of feel like Castro having introduced his Russian counterpart. I hope that you don't treat me with the same kind of greeting Mr. Castro got. I am very pleased this evening to introduce to you our presenter, Dr. Jan LaCroix.
Thank you, Jim, for that very kind introduction. When I hear an introduction like that, I tend to have a feeling of humility. But then I'm reminded of one of my very favorite quotes. It's attributed to Golda Meir, former Prime Minister of Israel. She said, "Don't be humble. You're not that good." So I recall that, and then I think of another quote I recently heard about humility by Ted Turner. And Ted said, "If I had a little more humility, I'd be perfect." So I just want you to know that on this occasion, when I'm participating in one of the significant events of your education week, that it's not humility I'm feeling, it's a sense of pride. It's especially important to me to be here because I have developed a real affection for your community. And I'd like to kind of hold up a mirror for you this evening and share with you some things that should tell you that you're very special, a very special community. Before I became president of the Citizens Council in Dallas, I had been a community college leader for over 20 years. And in all of my good Texas humility, I led one of the finest community colleges in the nation, the Dallas Community College System. That system serves over 100,000 credit students per year, and almost that many continuing education students. And it does have a very positive national reputation. But in that community, it is not really recognized the way you think it might be. It has never received the recognition it should have, and Dallas is no exception around this country. The community college movement, I believe, is the most important educational movement of this century. We are what I think of as bridge institutions, spanning the gap between high school and college, between the haves and have-nots, between those who are out of work and the gainfully employed, between those who need a second chance and the second chance. But in spite of these strengths, in most places, we make our case again and again, and we have to remind our communities of the vital role we play. What's so refreshing about the relationship between this community and Owensboro Community College is that there is a true advocacy existing in this community. There is an incredible ownership, pride, and commitment to ensuring that Owensboro Community College is the very best college it can be. And I want to say again, you just must take my word for it, that your relationship is a very special one. It really is a statement about the visionary people you have in this community. And it gives Owensville Community College a remarkable head start. Now, let me talk about, in more specific terms, the strategic planning process in which I was the lead consultant. You've already been told that the Citizens Committee received this generous grant from Bell South to develop the strategic plan utilizing the study that was done by Blue Ribbon Committee, National Committee, to look toward the future of community colleges, building communities, a vision for a new century. The people in this community saw this document as something that could be a guidepost in their strategic planning. And so we worked with your community people and your college people and wove the essence of this report into your strategic plan. Just briefly, let me talk about what we have done over a 3-month period. We formed a 22-member committee, called it the Planning Council, composed of 12 members from the community, 10 members from the faculty, staff of the community college. It was a very impressive group, and I again say a visionary group. They collaborated to bring a great deal of knowledge about the region and a commitment to education and very specific expertise to their assignment. Our consultant team did a great deal of legwork, gathering information, learning about the region, and interviews involving scores both at the college and in the broader community. We then shared our impressions with the Planning Council. We met with them in 4 intensive work sessions. We also asked the council to form study groups to further explore specific elements to be included in the plan. I wish that those of you here who were not involved could have been involved in those deliberations, because as we listened to both common and unique concerns, we heard the various community and education groups talk about how they had begun to collaborate and what more needed to be accomplished. It all boiled down, again, to how can we be the very best we can be as a community college, and how can the community help do that, and how can the college help the community. As a result, the strategic plan that I will summarize is a vision, a collective vision of the community, and in particular the Planning Council. Let me begin by sharing the goals of the plans. Essentially, the Planning Committee strongly affirmed that the college and the community, through joint and continuing efforts, should enhance the value placed on education in this region and ensure that the development of educated citizenry becomes the cornerstone of economic development, improve quality of life, and successful participation in the democratic process. And should make OCC a center for lifelong learning, stressing excellent teaching as a hallmark, focusing on student success, developing outstanding educational programs. Should extend educational services to geographical areas and potential student populations presently unserved, seeking as much as possible to erase the boundaries between college and community. And should aggressively pursue finding the resources at both local and state level to ensure that the college maintains its margin of excellence. As we gathered research, it also became clear that we'd be working from some clear planning assumptions. These assumptions would provide the framework within which implementation could go forward. Here are several of the key assumptions. OCC will be involved in systematic, ongoing planning, evaluation, and institutional research. The college will continue to benefit from unusually strong community support. Although the service area has experienced difficult economic times, gradual recovery is anticipated. But there is also the sense that the economic outlook is perhaps brighter for Davis and Hancock counties than for other counties in the service area. Next assumption, the region is moving from an industrially based to a service-oriented job market. Next, student enrollment will continue to significantly increase for the next several years, with increases averaging 10 to 20% for the next 5 years. The plan was developed in 7 brief sections. The sections parallel the sections in the Building Communities document. And I will list the sections for you, and we'll project them so you can see each of the 7 sections. First, students and faculty partnerships for learning. Curriculum, building coherence and cooperation. Instruction, the classroom as community. Campus life, the college as community. Community partnerships, strengthening ties. Institutional effectiveness and assessment. And leadership, ensuring the future. Now, comment briefly on each section. The students and faculty section declares the need for strong academic programs and an array of support systems to promote success. Recommendations stress the need for mandatory assessment and improved placement, advisement, and orientation. And an array of support services for new students, including tutoring, counseling, and job placement. This direction in this area also stresses the immediate need for a campus student center and asks for political support from the community to make the construction possible. Obviously, the key players in building student success are highly qualified faculty committed to the task of building exemplary learning communities. So recommendations also specify the need to strengthen orientation programs for new faculty and develop a multifaceted program for professional development for both part-time and full-time faculty. The second direction deals with curriculum. Recommendations range from the development of interdisciplinary activities to including writing and speaking assignments across the curriculum. For example, developing special and unique vocational and technical programs to meet the anticipated needs of the region. And for both college and community, recommendations stress the need for educational collaboration, promoting articulation among high schools, proprietary schools, and colleges in the area, being idealistic enough to encourage synchronized calendars for the region, and creating a pathways document which would set forth options for degrees and career opportunities across the different educational entities. The instruction section focuses on the classroom and ensuring that classroom learning is supported in ways that demonstrate a long-term commitment to making OCC a premier teaching institution. Recommendations suggest the need for multi-year plans to adequately equip and maintain classrooms. Also, the need for a new classroom building, which seems to be rather desperate at this time. The need to develop and implement a plan to increase telecommunications capabilities and instructional outreach. Also, classroom activities that stress collaboration, critical thinking, regular feedback. These are all listed as high priorities. The community is asked to help the college develop resources to ensure that these building, equipment, and staffing development needs are met. And now to the campus life section. It stresses the need for more co-curricular activities at OCC, especially on evenings and weekends. Thus, recommendations indicate that we should beef up and support services in the evening, on weekends, and off campus, and to stress career preparation and citizenship development through co-curricular programs, and to strengthen college traditions and rituals. The community is asked to help enhance campus life by both marketing and participating in ways which demonstrate strong support for the college. Now to the community partnership direction. This is a particularly important part of the plan's regional focus. If OCC is to live up to its unique opportunities, it must maintain the special relationships already established with the college and community. It also recommends that collaborations with schools in the region be expanded to promote learning enrichment, help at-risk youth, and ease the transition from high school to college. OCC also is asked to expand partnerships with colleges and universities in the area and with employers who have critical training, retraining, and continuing education needs. The community is asked to provide leadership by convening a regional educational council comprised of the chief executive officers of various educational entities and charged with fostering collaboration and minimizing duplications. The community is also asked to support and facilitate the formation of a regional clearinghouse for economic data, which would be used across the entire region. In the institutional effectiveness direction, processes for assessment and evaluation of effectiveness are set forth. The college is asked to explicitly define the educational outcomes needed to be achieved by OCC students, including basic skills, general education, program competencies, and performance after graduation. The community is asked to help provide effective feedback through advisory committees, focus groups, and other mechanisms. The final leadership direction emphasizes that dynamic leadership includes governing, generating resources, building broad-based participation, and creating opportunities for growth and development. It stresses that both the college and the community must develop more explicit strategies to influence policy and funding at the state level while further developing and renewing talent and resources at home. Recommendation call for substantive leadership development experiences for all employee groups in the college. To make this possible, the community in turn needs to aggressively pursue funding options at both state and local levels. I believe that much will be accomplished now, both because of the strategic planning process and the plan itself. In the plan, college and community leaders have laid forth strong recommendations indicative of their own high expectations and their visions for what the college and community can become. They have stressed partnering and collaborative processes to strengthen education, economic growth, and quality of life for the citizenry as a whole. As I said in the beginning, it has been a remarkable undertaking, mainly because of the level of voluntary involvement and the interest of so many leaders in the region. But clearly, the work has only begun. The task now is to put feet to the words, and that becomes the challenge. I personally feel that you are more than up to the task and can build a unique relationship here between college and community that will truly become a model for the country. Thank you.